We're counting down the days left in 2024, and let's hope the new year brings a better economy and a reprieve in the cost of living crisis. But we learned there was no reprieve for mortgage holders as the Reserve Bank slashed prospects of a rate cut in the near future. However, the central bank is reportedly optimistic over signs of soft wages that could reportedly revive chances of a rate cut in February. Now, to unpack this and more, let's bring in my panel, the Daily Telegraph's Tim Blair and Sky News contributor Louise Roberts, both looking incredibly festive. Thank you for coming on tonight. Now, Tim, is an early rate cut on your 2025 bingo card?
No, I think it's going to be pushed back a little. I'm no great economics predictive hero on these things, but I don't know. There's so many variables flying around. Expert opinion differs a great deal, and also I would note, quite aside from the numbers and the economics and rates and so on, and the RBA prognostication, there's one very alarming paragraph in the reports that are coming out about the RBA's future direction. I'll just read you a little paragraph here. The RBA noted that employment growth had been driven by the non-market sector, i.e. the government, and that there was a risk that job creation could stall if growth in government jobs were to slow. Now, when we're expanding government jobs, I don't care what any other figures are telling us, that's bad. That's when government gets bigger, people get poorer. And I think that's something to look at with some concern as we enter the new year.
Louise, I mean, I think an expanding public service workforce is a concern for a lot of people. But what do you see coming, and how do you think it's going to impact the government's chances at the election as well?
Well, that's the thing, Cara. They do need a little sweetener, don't they, to sort of keep people on side, the electorate who are very disillusioned over many issues, and issues, of course, you've discussed at length, of course, support of the Australian Jewish community being one of them. I'm like Tim, I'm not holding my breath of the rate cut at all. If there was one, that would be great. There'd be less to pay for our mortgages, more money sweeping to the economy. It would be a good thing, but let's just see what happens.
Look, meanwhile, something of a win for Sydney-siders. This is some good news, as a temporary truce between the Minns government and union leaders over the threatened New Year's Eve strike has been called. Now, those Grinch union leaders have withdrawn their industrial actions, saving the city's famous fireworks at the 11th hour. Truly a Christmas miracle, Louise, but there shouldn't have been this whole debacle in the first place.
Absolutely not. I mean, where else in the world would you see a global event on New Year's Eve like this held hostage by unions? I mean, the rest of the world looks to us for the start of the new year because we're obviously one of the first to turn over the calendar. And it's not even fixed anyway because they're still not resolved on this 32% increase in pay over 4 years. So all it's actually bought us is a bit of a stay of execution so people can pile into the CBD and enjoy New Year's Eve. But the fact that they were willing to risk that and risk people's safety, I think is deplorable.
Tim, there is nothing that these union leaders won't hold hostage, including fireworks, including Christmas. Do you think that they're going to turn a new leaf in 2025 and perhaps go easy on us with all these strikes?
No, and I think the fact that they've gone this far in threatening strikes over the New Year's period, I think shows just how far these people have now pushed things out. It's a little bit like the 70s. I mean, I know that neither of you recall the 70s at all in any detail because you weren't alive. Exactly, but there used to be annual strikes at breweries or annual threatened strikes at breweries, and it was like beer strike. Everyone's panicking, and then eventually there'd be some sort of peace deal brokered and everything would be okay. And this is the thing: people forget what is the threat that was held over them, and I hope it doesn't happen with the Rollians. I hope that the fact that they've been so menacing and so dictatorial throughout the weeks leading up to Christmas and New Year's, I hope that isn't forgotten because these guys, they're holding the city to ransom on a number of levels and not just during the holiday period.